Welcome back to my IL2 career. The campaign has just been updated with a new phase. The new phase is called the second attempt, and I've skipped forward a couple of days to my first mission in the new phase. However, I'm going to play the video that shows the tactical and, I guess, almost strategic situation for this phase of the battle.
The Soviet North Caucasus Front HQ attempts to breach the German defense line once again, ordering the 56th and 37th Armies to launch an offensive in the areas of Kievskoye and Moldovanskoye on May 26th. The Soviet armies failed to make good progress. Constant German counterattacks and mass Luftwaffe bomber strikes leave the Soviet forces hard-pressed and short of victory. Even though the war is taking its toll on men and machine, the Luftwaffe is still capable of putting large formations of bombers in the skies over Kuban. Many HE-111s, Ju-88s, and Stukas rain bombs down on Soviet troops and tanks. The Soviet Air Force responds in force. The increasing air battle above the Kuban battlefield will rage for several more days. In spite of huge losses and incredible exertion, the new tactics and command structure of the Soviet fighter forces are beginning to show results. The names of newly distinguished fighter aces resonate through the entirety of the USSR. Pilots like Pokrishkin, Rekalov, Fadayev, and Glinka start to turn the tide of the air war.
So it looks like we've got a Russian attempt at breaking through here in this area. So I'm hoping that means we'll get more missions around just north of Krymskaya and less missions sending us way up here. But our next mission here looks like an escort mission. Again, another escort mission to about there. Just to point on that video, they don't appear to have got the sound mixing right. The voice of that guy is very difficult to hear. It's quite low. I don't know if they've EQ'd out all the high frequencies from the voice, or it's just very difficult to hear that chap, whoever the actor is they've used. So I think they need to perhaps change the levels around in their audio recordings, reduce the sound of the drumming and increase the volume, or maybe some compression on the voice. Secondly, he actually still seems to be having a lot of trouble pronouncing some words. There's obviously the mispronunciation of the German words, Luftwaffe, for example. But that's forgivable if it's not your first language. But there do seem to be a lot of English words which he's sort of running together and mumbling a bit. It's not a very clear recording, I must say. I would seriously consider re-recording all of those. The first video was similar. Okay, well, we're not going to... So I'll keep all the default settings for the aircraft, no need to change that, and we'll jump into the cockpit. Here's our third waypoint again. This is actually very weird, because even though we're doing an escort mission to attack up here, and we know that there's a push happening here, which means lots of activity, we're still flying the return leg straight over that section of the front. This is starting to just become less and less sensible every time we do this. Unpause. And just get myself all lined up here. I don't think I'm the lead aircraft, or am I? Ah, I may very well be the lead here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in total. I'm not the lead. Good thing I just moved off to the side there. Here come the bombers. I should actually check the information before flying more often rather than just jumping into the cockpit and trying to deal with it then. It's a bit naughty. He's just adjusted a control surface. He's away. Gear up. So it is possible to stay with these AI when they do their takeoffs. They just go hell for leather. They climb with such speed. They basically go full engine settings, and then they pull the nose up to that really high angle of attack on takeoff. I'm surprised they managed to stay airborne, but it actually works. I've just done it myself there. We'll have a bit of a climb on our hands to get up to these bombers, some of which are going sideways. This may end up being a relatively quick trip because by the time we've met up with the bombers, we'll be over the middle of the bay, almost. And it's not a terribly long flight to their target. I think these guys are just above cloud height. They may be bang on cloud height. We'll see when we get to those clouds up ahead, maybe. I think they're just above though. I'm going to throttle back so I can slow down a bit. So we had some very good enemy AI, well, fighting skills anyway, in the last mission. I don't know if that's indicative of a general change in the front line situation, or whether that's just a fluke one-off experience, but we may have to treat the AI with a little bit more respect going forward. That means we're going to rack up less victories, then I think that's all for the better. There's still one lone bomber way back there. He really does have his work cut out for him to catch up. think he is catching though, very slowly. Probably just making in time to drop the bombs. The other escorts up here, I'm still climbing up to their altitude. They're quite high. Probably turn the supercharger on. No, not that high, 2,300. Much higher than the bombers though, probably 500 meters higher. I will stick the supercharger on. Me accidentally hitting that mixture switch again. Just on top of the bombers now, they're under there. Down in front on my 11 low. Very difficult to see green on green, but they are there. We're quite close to the target area now. Friendly. Stacked up a little bit for altitude here, which is quite nice. Some interesting flicker going on down there. That looks pretty horrific. Pretty rugged terrain around here. You wouldn't want to be trying a forced landing down there, that's for sure. This could be their target up here. think it may have been. We'll see. If they turn... Oh! Disappearing into that very thinnest of clouds. Okay, they seem to have continued on, so that must not have been the target. They are pressing forward in this direction. So we'll see. What they aim for in just a few moments, I think. Still got friendlies, the rest of my squadron or my section going around over here. Some radio calls. Could be fighters have been spotted. I think so. Don't realise it's happening until the guns start going off. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on the bombers. There's what I believe is a 109 swinging around behind them here. Yeah, I'm going to focus on him. Looks like he could catch up to the bombers here. There's another one over there. Yeah, I've got to try and focus on these guys. I think they're probably the riskiest ones from protecting the bombers' point of view. That's a friendly though. So the second one is probably just underneath me somewhere. Bit of a risk climbing up in this location. Down here. And another one down there. Right, he's definitely angling towards the bombers. He's on his own. He thinks he's got away. He thinks he hasn't been seen. He's just trying to creep up behind them. Can just make him out still through the cloud here. I think he knows I'm on him because he's going very slow now. We'll just get him as he comes out the cloud. Oh, there's a surprise. Okay, these guys are maneuvering quite hard. Maneuvering much harder than they have done in previous missions. Oh, he suddenly stopped. I don't know if he just ran out of... Pilot ran out of... ran out of medicine. His health bar went down from the G. Hey, these guys are actually flying quite hard. This is much better than in previous missions when they would just sit there in front of me in a gentle turn This guy's actually trying to shake me. I don't want to waste ammo though. I hate wasting ammo. He says as he wastes ammo. Okay, that's probably a fatal blow. He's certainly going to struggle to get out of that one. He's still flying. Oh no, I think that was it. I think he's just rolling in. Yep, there we go. Okay, he's bailed. Now, how the hell do I find the bombers? With this visibility bubble that we have in IL2. I wonder if that's the bomb sites. Just gotta look around. This is unfortunately such a major problem with this game, is this visibility bubble. We'll keep the climb going. See if we can pick up anything. I also know the bombers are likely heading back to the... Well, I know they are. When they have hit the target, they'll be heading back to our famous airfield waypoint. So I could probably head in that direction and then loiter and try and pick them up over that waypoint. It's quite a thick amount of cloud here. I don't know if they're homeward bound yet or if they're still en route to target, so I kind of have to just climb up and try and find them. There's that first town we flew over on the way in. So I think I'm ahead of them. I think I should turn back towards the target area. No sign of them. So quick to lose sight. Contacts low over here. Gunfire. I think this is more fighters. I don't think this is the bombers, but at least if I get back with the AI fighters, when they eventually turn back towards the bombers, hopefully I'll be able to follow them. 109. Friendly. Possibly a 109 down low. These guys don't have much airspeed here. They're all turning around. I think that one diving now is a 1. I think there's 2 109s and 2 friendlies down here. So I'll try and latch onto this aircraft just going through my gun sight. Just going up and over. I think that's a 109. Certainly flying in the vertical. Yeah, that's it. That's Luftwaffe. Just going to yank back on the stick. I know you've seen this thing that... No, I've seen them inverted a lot, these guys. Bugger. Could not push the stick forward fast enough. And I risked colliding with that one then. Okay, well I've lost all my energy. Pretty sure I missed him all the time there. Using up a lot of precious ammunition with this. That will teach him a lesson. So where's the other one? On your 6 is normally the answer to that question. Okay, 2 contacts, 1 there and 1 there. 3 contacts, 2 here and 1 there, and 1 going up and over. Second one is hostile. I believe. No, he's friendly. No, he's not. Don't be ridiculous. Oh, these are all Germans. 2 Germans, 1 Russian. I think. I'm not entirely sure about this. I'd like some airspeed, please. And I hope I've got ammunition still. Oh, thank goodness for that. Got him on the wing, and he's just bailing out, I think. Just opened the canopy. Okay, he's out. Where's his mate? Somewhere behind me. There's another aircraft up, and there's another aircraft kind of level. This guy here and that guy there. And something up ahead as well. These guys might all be out of ammo, which is why they're not fighting. I don't know. Or are they all friendlies? Could be friendly. Just keep an eye on this. Let's also keep an eye out behind in case we get jumped. They are going north though, which is a bit odd. And they are climbing really hard. Another one up there. Okay, what are they? I am fairly confident that these are friendlies. No, that's a 109. No, I think that's a 109. Is he about to shoot down that friendly? Dropping out of the sky, I think. Just about caught up to this chap. Now he's reacting. And diving away. All that effort he made trying to climb out. This might be my chance here. Not quite. Staying in the vertical. And he keeps doing that every time. Very hard to follow him with the gun sight. Okay, he's stalling. Yeah, I think that's a stall. Aha. Oh. I do love to go inverted and then push the nose forward. I've noticed that so many times now. So it's going to check his nose forward in a second or two. There he goes. And then I haven't got the rudder authority here to stay with him and... Oh. There we go. Very, very difficult to follow them when they check the nose and then they sort of, I don't know if they're kicking in some rudder, but it's certainly very difficult to see what they're up to. I wonder if his aircraft's going to snap in half sometime soon. There he is, checking the nose, going inverted. Give him a wing tap. Hopefully I got his aileron there. Oh, he's slow. And that should be the final blow. Definitely time for me to get the hell out of here. We have fought hard enough today. Bailed out. I'm not going to bother heading back to the escort point. I'm going to fly straight down the coast back to the base, which I can actually see from here. Hardly any flak today. Plenty of fuel left. A little bit out of trim. I don't really want to fly with my feet on the rudders, but I guess I will. Try and get as much airspeed as we can on the way home. So the AI were quite good again. The German AI, their dogfighting was a lot more impressive than in the earlier missions. I don't know if it's because once you get past 20 missions, maybe you get harder AI. But that was a lot better. The fighting skills were a lot better than what we'd seen in previous missions. They tend to go into those heavy dives as soon as they realize you're behind them. Just quite early. They seem to catch you about 500 meters back, maybe a bit more, certainly before I close to gun range, and then they wing over, go into a heavy dive, and they start doing this vertical fighting, and that pushing the nose forward just as they're coming towards the apex of their climb. Well, once their nose is pointed towards the apex, and then they push the nose forward and wriggle about a bit. We're home safe now, I think. No one hanging out below me here over this city. It's often air activity here. There's the fantastic flicker again, which we saw on the way through. Still here. I'm going to start my descent towards our airfield. Galengic down there. Super fast approach. That's not an enemy aircraft out there, is it? I've got the two ones with lights on over here, and then there's another aircraft just climbing away. Surely a friendly. There's no flag. Yeah, that's a friendly. Good. Oh, another friendly here. So 4 of them made it back. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus me. That's 5. We only lost 1 by the looks of it. That's actually much better effort than we've seen in some previous missions. I'm too fast still. I'm going to have a bit of a bleed here. Yeah, it's better. 200. Bit of power on. Open the hood. Low here. Let's put on some gas. And start entering the brakes aggressively. I think I can turn off the field now. We're not going to risk ground looping. Oh, it seems you're always risking ground looping in PC simulation these days. And we will park over here. Good job, me. Turn that engine off. Turn the radio off. Please turn the radio off. I don't know what it is with that static sound file. It seems that the static noise and the radio voices are on, oh, thank goodness, are on different channels or different audio channels, or they're different files. And so the static just plays and plays and plays. Even if you have the voices turned on, which I've deleted the voice files, you still get that static playing. It's not a very well thought out sound system. That's one thing I think in IL2 that needs probably a lot of work, is the audio. There are a lot of issues with audio. Anyway, we're done there. Let's check the final results. We were awarded 4 victories. I thought we got 3, so that's, I guess, some nice news that we got 4 in total. It's happening relatively regularly recently, racking up 4. Despite the apparent skill increase, I'm still getting quite a few. Now, I noticed there's pilots being transferred to other units. Anton Vishyakov, whatever his name is, he got transferred to another unit. So I wonder if that's going to happen to me. I think it would be quite nice if the human player could be transferred to another unit. So we'll see if that happens. 4 fighter kill bonuses, or victory bonuses, as I prefer to call them. It was Felix Panfilov who bought it today. And there we have it. Quick check of the world news, which we tend to do after each flight. Streaks ahead now on 65 victories. And we are going to continue the series in a video coming to you very soon.